Rain pelted the windshield as Olivia Crane drove through the winding roads of eastern Connecticut. The wipers smeared the mist, revealing the ancient rusting gates of Union Cemetery. It was her first night shift with a paranormal research team. A dare, a job, a means to force herself to look death in the eye. As she parked under an old willow, her headlights washed over blank gravestones like lost teeth in the earth. Her teammates were already waiting by the gates. Marcus, the leader, with his battered equipment case, and Janine, who claimed she could hear things the living don't. The air was heavy with electricity when Marcus unlocked the gate and the trio stepped inside. The cemetery sprawled, a patchwork of weathered headstones vanishing into rolling gray mist. They began their night with cameras and EVP recorders, walking between rows of sunken stones that leaned as if whispering to each other. Olivia's skin prickled. Through the fog, a pale figure darted. A trick of the eyes, she thought, until Janine froze. "She's here," Janine whispered, voice shaking. As the clock neared midnight, Marcus signaled for silence. A soft wail spiraled on the wind, too clear, too mournful for mere wind. Their recorders buzzed with sudden static, then captured a voice. "Help me, find my son." At the far side of the graveyard, something white moved among the stones. Mesmerized, Olivia approached. Mist clung to her boots, cold water soaking up through her jeans. There, in the heart of Union Cemetery, stood a woman veiled in a tattered white dress. She glided rather than walked, moving past markers etched with names centuries old. Her face hidden by tangled hair, tilted toward Olivia. Janine's breath became visible mist. "Don't look at her eyes," she hissed. Olivia couldn't help herself. When their gazes met, chill lanced through her, a vision. Someone screaming and running through fog, a lantern knocked from cold fingers, a child's laughter abruptly cut off. The lady in white opened her mouth to wail, but instead she pointed with a claw-like finger toward a sunken grave, weeping softly. The ground there steamed as if exhaling. Marcus urged them to retreat, but Olivia was drawn deeper. At the grave the lady pointed toward, frost rhymed each letter of the headstone. Harriet B. Seeley, 1853. The air vibrated, a deathly hush fell. Suddenly, Olivia was somewhere else, inside a house, watching a woman in white search desperately as a man in shadows pulled a child away. The woman's scream became the shriek that echoed just moments before in the living world. Olivia snapped back, gasping, kneeling by the grave. Lightning flashed. Around them orbs of pale light twisted and flickered, rising out of the ground and drifting toward the woods. Marcus's camera battery died with a sizzle. Janine sobbed quietly, clapping her hands over her ears. They tried to flee, but the paths had subtly changed, the stones like sentinels standing in their way. The lady in white raced behind them now, mouth stretching open, arms reaching. Every time Olivia closed her eyes, she relived that vision of a mother's loss, a stolen child, and the agony that stained the earth. The three stumbled, battered by wind that roared with ghostly voices. Marcus tripped and fell. Spectral hands reached from the soil, gripping his ankles. Olivia dragged him free, whispering apologies into the unknown. At the gate, just as the sky hinted at dawn, the lady in white blocked their path, floating, screaming, grief and rage contorting her features. "Give him back," her voice echoed, shaking every headstone. The mist thickened. For a second, every gravestone flickered with a spectral figure, faces of the lost blinking in and out of sight. Olivia, trembling, reached into her pocket and found a child's toy, a wooden horse she'd picked up absent-mindedly by the grave. "I'll bring him home," she promised, though she didn't know to whom she spoke. The lady in white vanished. The dawn broke. Olivia clutched the toy, feeling a cold, small hand slip into her own before the mist faded away. The research team left Union Cemetery marked in spirit and in memory. Olivia's recordings from that night were filled with voices and cries she could never fully understand. No one on the team would sleep through the night again. Occasionally, drivers see a white figure on Sport Hill Road or hear weeping through the stones on a foggy night. Olivia sometimes wakes holding the wooden horse, convinced the lady in white remembers her and might one night return, crying out for her child as dawn fails to come.